Howdy folks, welcome back to the MatchNet podcast. I want to send a lot of love to you from me, but also from our two parents right here in Las Vegas. I am here in Las Vegas for a rebirth workshop. And the reason I'm here, my friends, is because just a few days ago, I had a personally very profound spiritual dream and experience, which I don't have very often. But after I had that dream and I woke up, I decided to record the dream for you guys and my interpretation of this dream, and send it to you guys here in the podcast. And then I decided to come to this workshop because I felt a need and a desire to understand God and have a deep experience with true parents and true mother. So please receive this message with a heart of love and gratitude that I have for you all. And please receive it in the way that I intend to give it. I'm here with God on my mind. I'm here with Heavenly Parent. I'm here with true Father and true Mother on my mind. So please enjoy. See you.
It is time for us to stop complaining about the world, about our faith. It is time for us to take ownership of our faith community, of our movement, okay? And I'm making this episode because I started this podcast with a dream. I literally had a dream where I traveled through the realms of spirit world. Go back and watch that episode. It's the very first episode that we have. And because I am a skeptic and I'm a curious person in the sense that I'm a genuine skeptic, which means if you are a true skeptic, you will not just discount everything as false or untrue or just make believe or a fallacy, but that you will have the element of curiosity, and everything you do as a true, genuine skeptic is you will try to understand the other side. You will do research to understand. And because I'm a true, curious skeptic, my whole life has been just a belief out of faith that the afterworld, the spirit world is real. Maybe perhaps God is real. And maybe perhaps I am a better man because of my belief in God. And that's kind of how I lived my life. But until I had that dream where I traveled the realms of spirit world to understand what life is really, truly, genuinely about, after that moment, I started this podcast because I believed that there was a reason for that, okay? And so today, my friends, I'm making this specific video for you all because last night I had another dream. Now, whether you want to discount my dreams as just, fabrications of my own imagination in my own head, that's fine. But how I perceive dreams is uniquely divine to me and spiritual to me because I don't dream very often, or I don't remember my dreams very often. But last night in particular, I had this thought in my head as I went to sleep. And my thought was, I want to have a spiritual experience. Because it's been several months, years perhaps, since I've had a genuine spiritual experience where I felt the presence of God and the unconditional love that everyone talks about when they have spiritual experiences. And I thought, I don't want to take psychedelics. I don't want to take, mushrooms or anything. But I want to have a spiritual experience, and I think dreams are probably the closest thing that I probably will ever experience in my own lifetime to having a real spiritual experience. So I went to sleep closing my eyes and I said, God, I want to have a spiritual dream. And that's it. And I woke up a few times, as I do sometimes in the night, and I took out my phone and I asked myself, did I have a dream last night? No, didn't. And then I finally went back to sleep. I woke up at the usual hour, 7:30, 8 o'clock. And I thought, did I have a dream? No, I didn't. But I thought I'd journal about it anyways, because they recommend to journal about your dreams. So I took out my phone, my journaling app, and I started to write down any recollection, any recall of my dreams. And in an instant, I remembered the dream that I had just prior to waking up at around 8 o'clock this morning. And I want to tell you this dream because the conclusion I've come to is the same conclusion that I introed to you in this video, is that we have to stop complaining about our faith. And so what happened in this dream, I want to paint this picture for you. I'm with a lot of second generation, my age. And we're in Korea, we're in a train station, and we're all waiting at a train station to go to Cheongpyeong. And we're waiting patiently. And what's interesting about these second generation in my dream is they're not the, gung-ho, let's save the world, GPA type, SDF type, CARP type second gen. They're the people of my age, 30s, 40s, who are the most disengaged and jaded and negative second generation in our movement. People I personally know. Dozens and dozens, perhaps hundreds, in this large, very large train station. Our group took up the entirety of this room. And while we were waiting, we were consuming and laughing together as we were going through a large buffet with the most delicate and tasty and beautiful food that you could ever possibly imagine. A buffet of tables and tables and layers of food, of desserts, of Korean food, of colors and vibrancy that you could only imagine you could see in a movie or in spirit world, right? And we were going through this line, we were singing songs, and I remember one song that was playing and everyone was singing together, which was Dream On by Aerosmith, right? Dream on, dream until your dreams come true. And as we were going through this line, one thing, the spirit and the vibe that I picked up on from all the people that I was observing and having conversations with in this dream was complaint. Everyone there was complaining about the food that they were in, complaining about the train being late that was going to jump in, complaining that the food was too this or too that. As they were consuming and stuffing their face with the most beautiful and vibrant food that you could imagine, they were complaining about it, right? And I thought, well, this is interesting, but I guess it's typical. But the overall spirit in that room was just like, this is not good enough. Entitlement. Complaint. And when I woke from my dream, and I told this to my kids, I was driving my kids in the morning, this morning, and I was driving them to their summer camp that they're participating in. And we were playing this song by Aerosmith, and I said, hey kids, I want you guys to hear the song Dream On. I think you'll like it. This was in my dream last night. And as I was playing the song, I realized how I interpret this dream and what I meant with this dream is that our faith, the people of our movement, particularly the second and third generation, the blessed children of our movement, have been bequeathed one of the greatest blessings that you could ever imagine, that you probably can't fathom because of the spiritual implications and elements of the blessing, of God's love and God's heart. These two individuals, true parents, whoever they are, have given to us immense blessing, buffets of food, spiritual power, a lineage, life itself we have been given. Life itself we have been gifted because of true parents. And all we are doing, and I'm guilty of this too, is complaining that it's not good enough. We're complaining about the minute things that, eternally speaking, do not matter. How the food is decorated, or how the food is organized, or how it tastes. I don't like this preferences. I don't like how this person is saying that or doing that. I don't like how mother's doing this, etc. And we're seeing through a physical eye at this world and how our movement is running, how the people are, even though everyone is far from flawless, far from complete. We're complaining at how everyone else are, and we're conflating things and saying like, oh, this is not working. And we're failing to see true mother from a spiritual eye. And this is what I myself have been guilty of many, many times, and that I'm repentful for, and I'm working on because I'm a genuine skeptic and I'm curious. I will, to my dying breath, I will try to understand through my spiritual senses, my spiritual eyes of who true mother is, who true father is. And not just look at their actions, but I will try to understand, spiritually speaking, what is the significance of this? What is the goodness that they have brought to this world? And how can I contribute to that? And I have a genuine desire to understand and to seek help and support and to do what I can to understand it and to convey it to the people around me. So we have to stop complaining. We have to be curious. And what comes to mind is a quote I heard from Albert Einstein. He said, there are two ways to live your life. Number one, you can live your life as if nothing is a miracle and everything is accidental. Or you can live your life as if everything is a miracle. And that's your choice to make. And I'm choosing to live my life, even though externally, physically, things don't make sense. Everything is evil. Everything is wrong. The world is going to hell if you watch the news. But if you look at things through a spiritual sense, everything is beautiful. Everything is incredible. Everything is amazing. In fact, the evil that is consuming the world is a drop of sand, is a speck of sand in a desert of goodness that consumes the spirit world. And if we continue to focus on the negativity and the complaining and how everything's not perfect, we'll be lost in the desert of eternal destruction of our own souls. And we'll be unhappy our entire lives. So I am choosing, and I have continued to choose for the last several years of my life, to choose to see things from a spiritual perspective, to choose to see true parents, God, with curious eyes. Curiosity. I think God gave us curiosity for a reason, and for some reason, as we get older, we lose that childlike ability to just think, oh, interesting. Why is it that God is like that? Why is it that God made this like this? Why is it that you mother's saying this? Why is it that your father said this like this? Instead of what people typically do in this train station of individuals that I was with, is just point fingers and complain about it the entire time. Okay? That's the opportunity we have for you guys. I love you all, and I look forward to seeing you in the next podcast episode. Please take this with a heart that I mean to give it to you. I think this is an exciting time for us to live in. I think that the modern times of technology and medicine and the internet have been given to us as a blessing. And it's an opportunity to use the free will that God has given us, to use it for ourselves or for the sake of others. And so I hope that this podcast and this video I'm making simply for you guys is a way for me to channel that intention that I think we have the internet for, to spread things that are worth sharing, that are beautiful, that are God-centered, that are from God, that are of God. Okay? Lots of love to you all. Take care.